Hi guys, my name is Beads. This is going to be a review for the metal build 00 Gundam 7 Swords. Here we go. Quite nice. Got mine from Tatsu Hobby as a pre-order. Yep. Luckily I got one. They are hard to get. Pretty much most metal build, whether it's a P-Bandai or a regular release, it's just one of those premium items that limited stock and you gotta be quick about or know the place to get them for sure. Yep. They're right about they are quite expensive. They're about $200 to $300 around that price range, and as they are sold out, the secondary market definitely goes up in price. Yep. Alright, so here we go in the back. Got some cool images, and more than likely we're just gonna take a quick glance here. We'll go over each configurations. Hopefully it's not that complicated. And for those who've been wondering, this is a figure. You don't have to assemble other than adding the weapon sets and whatnot. Yeah, it's an action figure ready to go. You don't have to build it. So that's pretty much it for the box. Quite nice. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this and continue the review. Alright, so here we go. We have the 007 Swords G. And I think this is probably the best way to go over the variety of hands. I'll probably take out some of them, especially when we're putting on the weapons. But first off, we have one to hold the weapons this way. Then you have your open hands here. And you have your hands to hold the sword in an angle like this, and you have your trigger finger hands on the bottom here, aside from the closed fist. There we go. And yeah, this is quite nice. Now it is called 7 Sword for a reason, and actually we can see that onto the base. So each metal build has actually more or less the same base, just painted differently. And here we go. See if we can kind of close in on that. There we go. And it actually named in English, which is great. All over here. We got some specs. We got their pilot, Tetsuna FCA, below Gundam, and so we have the GN. Probably that's heavy weapons, 7 swords, G. You're not too familiar what the G stands for, you know, aside from Gundam, but probably different. Now, when you got the weapons, it's a bit interesting. It's not really 7 swords, you actually get an extra one. Alright, so you have the GN sword, Buster Sword here, this huge one on his left. The GN Sword 2 short on here, which actually kind of turns into a whip. He does have an extension, which we'll go over. Then you have your GN Katars here on the both sides of the leg. Then you have your GN Sabers, 2 on each back. Then you have your GN Sword 2 long, which is here on to his right. And the extra one, the GN sword, or the GN blaster, too, right here on his right shoulder. Yeah, so if we count that, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the back, 6, 7, 7 swords, plus the G part, which is, I guess, the gun. Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure what that is. Should I look it up? But for the most part, that's it. In terms of the weapons he has, really cool. I'm a big fan of 007 swords. A really nice design. Actually, the 00 Gundam itself, there's just a lot of variety. If they ever reach the All-Riser, I'll definitely hop onto that. It's always cool to have that on the back, or even just getting the Accent Riser. And luckily we get the master grade for that, but better yet that we have the Mel build as well, especially for us who collects this awesome figure series. Alright, so that's that. Yeah, let's go over individual pieces and let's see how it works out. Alright, so let's see how this is gonna work. why don't we work on to the big guy here? So this is the GN Buster. Maybe is it Buster 2 or something like that, right? And let me see if I can pop this out. There we go. All right. So the way to mount this, and everything's in the instructions. See if I can pop this here. All right. So we got a plastic connector here. We attach it here. Which, might as well do it now as well. So there we go. Connects on that shoulder. Then it connects here on these two tabs. But really nice. You can put it all together, compress it. It becomes a compact sword. You have a handle here, as well as a handle here as well. And you can extend it. There we go. See the green design. And extend the handle here. There we go. And there is a hollow part there where the GN drive goes into when you dock it. And it could be extended here as well. Even here. And you have your handle there. Really massive Buster sword. Now some of you might be wondering, isn't this too heavy? Well, he's in space, so it doesn't really matter if the weapon is too big. You can accommodate for that. So yeah, really nice weapon. Moving on, let's go with the blaster. Blaster here. Now this one is actually kind of interesting how it's mounted, because as you can see, I took out the GN drive. There's actually a spare GN drive that works with this blaster for connection. Otherwise, let's go ahead and reattach this. There's two tabs right there. Just kind of align it, and there we go. And this is right here. It's tabbed into this gray piece inside. There we go. This rectangular part goes in there. It's a separate piece. It has a ratcheting mechanism. And this one actually has like a handle inside here. And it's actually a little difficult to kind of pry it out. Gonna have to wiggle it. I'm not even sure if I can take it out. But I'm just gonna leave it there. And grab a toothpick here. There we go, and as well as the blue guard. I had to close my window. Sometimes I forget that there's always airplanes passing by. Alright, so what do we have here? I mean, there is a tab there. Now, I should have looked at the instruction, but I like just discovering if certain things are intuitive. Now, that part there extends. Obviously, this is the part where you can hold it as a blaster, like so. There is an extra handle here, or on the other side, for support. As this go up, there is a scope, but that probably is another connector. And there seems to be another tab here. I should really look that up. Otherwise, it just goes onto the arm, and we'll attach it in a bit. Yeah, really nifty. So that's it for the blaster. Alright, so this next part is actually mounting this on his elbow, and that could be a little tricky. So here we go. Now, first off, you gotta remove this handle here. It's the same as the other GN Sword 2. But it is a bit tricky. You basically just make sure you securely hold the other piece, and you kind of just tug on to the other side like that. Alright, I think it's fine. There we go. Now we're gonna move this tab here, and we're gonna go ahead and close that in, or peg it in there. Now before we do that, I just want to show you there is a locking mechanism down here, and you see that thing kind of latching into for this. So go ahead and put that in. There we go, and that should hold in place. Now grab the elbow here, bend it in a certain way, maybe put the GN drive. There we go. Now we're just gonna tab it in here. Now it's a little tricky, but you just gotta... It's a tab that kind of locks it in place or snaps. There we go. No, the problem is taking it out. Wonderful. Alright, so he can hold it this way. Now, I'm not sure what the significance of that is, but in a way, you have a blade on your elbow right here. So he can definitely do some damage. Just rushing forward with his elbow like this. There we go. Definitely do some damage with that. Alright, so taking it out, it's a little challenging, but you can actually remove this blue part here, which we're gonna do right now. Actually, maybe not. I'll just leave it there. You can actually detach that. But to remove it, you gotta make sure that thing is all the way down. The tab, that's why it'll stay. And you just gotta... Yeah, that didn't work. Let's try. You're gonna have to just tug it in. Or tug it out. There we go. Yeah, you're gonna be pinching it, and just don't strain yourself. If you're straining, take a break. But I'm able to take it out. Yeah, I wish it was a little bit better, but I just want to demonstrate that part right there. And put this back on. There we go. And this part right here. All right, just... Okay, so we're back to where we all have. So let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, so next weapon we have the GN Sword 2, the long one. Right here. We have an alternate handle here as well. So when he's holding it, there we go. I should really swap out the heads here. Do that in a bit. So quite nice. It could be a blaster. It could be a sword. Yep. Can we actually detach? No, I think that's the whole part of the sword here. So get the long sword. Next up, you have the short GN Sword 2 short sword. Right here. And same way, turns to a blaster. You can detach this, and that's when you're going to be using this connector here. It's kind of like a hook. It's a cool gimmick. There we go. And attach this to here. So in a way, it could be a harpoon, hook, or whatnot. Yep. More than likely, I'm not going to be using this gimmick, but it's there. It's nice. So the GN Sword 2 short. Now for the GN Qatar, they are the same thing for the most part. Oh, there we go. Same design. Just kind of pull this on here. You got your handle here. Nice detail. All the nice decals right there. Really cool. And lastly, we have the beam sabers, which are mounted on the back. Right there. So I'll take out both of them. There we go. Now, you do have two of the effect parts here. Let's take this out. You can tell I just unboxed this, literally. Alright, so, and there is a shape onto the effect parts. It's like a T. Just make sure you orient it properly. So you got one, you got two, and yeah, that is quite nice. Now there is an attachment right here if you want to combine them. Yep. I think, is this how it goes? Or do you just put the effect part here? No, it's supposed to connect. Can we detach this? It's one of those I have to really check the instructions. 1 second. That's why it won't work. I'm using it the wrong way. Alright, so you grab your GN Sword 2's short and long and you combine them. There we go. That's for the handles. I thought there was one for the beam saber hilts. Well, anyways, yeah, this is quite nice. I guess you can combine the blaster and this. You know, having the same handle. I mean, let's go ahead and try that. It's gonna be ridiculously long, but yeah, let's see. All right, yeah, it's the same handle. You definitely can put it there, and yeah, I guess you can just attach it like this. And actually you can't, because this is different handle. Oh, okay. Well, let's go for the next longest thing here. Or the third one. So there you go. You can attach the long and the blaster. Which is cool, but a little ridiculous. Alright. I think that's pretty much it for the weapons. Let's take a closer look at that 00 Gundam. Alright, so here we go. Now, this is my first 00 Gundam metal build. I don't have the old ones, or the ones already released. So we're going over the details and articulation like we always do. Alright, so we get the head here. Quite nice. Got some nice clear pieces on the side here. Nice detail. You got the beef in there. You kind of have a little bit of caution not to break them. Alright, so left and right, no problems there. Yeah, typical for the head. Then you got your chest area here, which is great. You got your shoulder here, which there is a swivel point on top and a hinge on to the side. Kind of like how most of the 00 figures are in the market. On the back side here, you definitely can see that die cast for the shoulder, which is needed. Caesar, yeah, you can move that shoulder joint here a little bit for the armor. Alright, so back here again in front, you got your bicep swivel. You can move this out. There's a joint right there. Quite nice. You got double jointed elbow. There we go. Quite nice. Then you got your torso area, which you can have a little bit of up crunch, and I don't know if you can lean side to side. It feels like you can, but I cannot do that right now. So I guess there might not be a side to side movement on the torso. You got your front skirt, which is in a ball joint. This is side skirt are probably on a hinge, or can I turn them? Yeah, it looks like they are on a really stiff ball joint. I think the torso or the waist area here are all die cast, so they are connected to that, and usually that are, yeah, a little stiff. So those are the two pegs to connect the beam saber hilts, and you can move this a little bit as well. Now, moving on, you got your waist here. It's in that die cast. Let's take this out actually. Die cast waist joint right there. Huh. Interesting. Going back, going front. Actually, can I move this? I guess you have to tilt the waist or the front guard here to move the leg up. Now for the knee bend, there we go. Really nice knee bend right there. Now there is an alternate knee, and that's we're not using the GN Qatar. It's right here, and this just has two pegs there to connect. I'm not gonna swap it out, but that is there. Then you get the GN inscription here inside the GN drive, which is nice. I think the sides are painted. I don't think they're die cast, or doesn't feel like it, but that is definitely die cast right there. Actually, it kind of feels die cast here. Even the knee joint, huh, it probably is. Then I think the whole feet here is die cast. Kind of gives you a little bit more weight and support. So you got a fairly decent articulation on the ankle there, in the heel, and you can definitely turn this onto the side for a cool action pose. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for articulation. Overall, it's quite nice. I guess you can move the thrusters a little bit there, but usually I just leave it fixed. Can you actually remove the... You can probably remove the backpack. I actually see a screw there. Huh. But it's hidden on the back, so... Yeah, it's a really great figure. Alright, so let's go ahead and swap some hands and put some weapons on him. Let's do that. Alright, so you know, fairly easy. I actually just remove the closed fist right here, but for demonstration, you just pop that off. And put this on. Just an easy swap out. There we go. You do have a little bit of wrist ankle, or wrist joint there. Kind of like the ankle. Yeah, a little tilt. Alright, so let's go ahead and put some Saber. There we go. Yeah, I took the one that's a little bit angled. Because I think the other one is for the Qatar, which kind of makes sense. Alright, so yeah, quite nice. Dual wielding. Otherwise, let's go ahead and attach. Let's see here. Why don't we do the sword, the long sword right here? So I'm gonna go ahead and actually we can probably just use that. There we go. And just push this on here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you use this too. Sometimes it's just not, it doesn't let you go in. Alright, there we go. So you get your sword right there. And we can probably put the short sword on the other side here for dual wielding. I'm just gonna have to wiggle around that handle here. Yeah, it's a little difficult. Alright, so probably the best way is to remove the hand altogether from the wrist. And yeah, I don't want to damage the paint. Actually, it's fairly durable. There we go. That kind of worked out. And I'll put this back on here. Alright, there we go. Maybe do some action poses. Really great. That is quite nice. Alright, what else we got here? I just noticed that we have this. I think, yeah, this is kind of like the, well, kind of joke around. I call them GN spatula. So I guess if you just take this out, you can just connect this and it just becomes a regular 00. And where is that? I'm fairly sure you can just, there we go. Yeah, just normal GN sword. I think that might have been a GN sword 1. No, the GN sword 1 is the Buster sword. There's just probably a term for it. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, really nice. Alright, so let's move on. Alright, next one, the Buster sword. Let's see how we're gonna do this. This is a little tricky to do. Alright, so let's position it here. And we're gonna hold, probably gonna use this particular hand, straight shot. There we go. And more or less it is able to grip that. Let's go ahead and take out this. Right, so probably attach this. No, we gotta do this first here. Put on the handle. Actually, I'm kind of seeing stress there onto the thumb. So you gotta be a little careful as you put the handles in. Something tells me this may not be for it. I may have to swap it out with the big one, kind of like what I just put on that other part. Alright, so just bear with me here. Alright, take this out. Grab the Buster sword here. Here's the hand, and this should fit it. Wait, that doesn't sort of fit into it. Alright, yeah, feels like I have to open up that grip right there somehow. And, you know, sometimes gotta just push the handle in. There we go. Come on. Alright, we got it. Send the handle. Now, oh great. Oh, it went out. I had the, there we go. Because I'm gonna have it hold this while the other one's over here. Let's see how this is gonna work. Alright, so alright, we got the sword there. Now there is actually another stand that we can use, you know, for support, but yeah, while we're doing this here. Oops. Come on. It's not all the way in, but there we go. So you can definitely dual wield that sword, for that matter. And I guess the same way with this, the Buster, or no, the GM Blaster. Yeah, with that handle right there. I'm probably not gonna do this one. Alright, so I was mentioning that there is a stand for the Buster Sword. And there's actually a couple of things. So you do have this arm thing that you can use. You got this little stand here. You have this. And you have a V-shaped part there which you can use to hold the edge of the blade. Yeah, just for support. You also have a short one here, small one. This is probably when you have the sword pointing to the ground. So, definitely will help. So those are the few things that's in here. I'm not really gonna get that much. I mean, here. It's kind of like how it'll be. Alright, so is there anything else I missed out? I think that's pretty much it. Now, okay, let me go ahead and put in another post. You know what, maybe I'll just put in the blaster. Yeah, sure. And here we go with the blaster. Quite nice. Alright, so to wrap up the review, as I mentioned countless times in this review, it is amazing, it's awesome, and just, yeah, there's just a lot to go around on this thing. From the different weapons and different configuration. Really great. And yeah, it's something I really recommend. Now, given that if you have the budget, yeah, go for it if you can. And this is kind of like the pinnacle of the Gundam figures as of late. It's kind of like how the perfect grade is for the mold kits. Yeah, you're just getting a lot of details. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I didn't really find any issues other than, you know, common nums that I see, but that's very nitpicking on it. Those, you can really remove it altogether. After all, the figure is assembled, kind of like how a mold kit is, where you have different parts and you put it together and all that stuff. So there's a lot more labor involved in making this. Yep. And I think that's pretty much it for the review. Hope you guys like it. Again, Gamma from Tatsu Hobby. I don't know if they have any in stock, more or less they probably have it from the pre-orders that they opened you know, way back. So definitely, if you see a metal build that you like, make sure you know when the pre-orders are up and you go for it. Otherwise, they sell out pretty quick, and it's kind of frustrating sometimes, but it's for something like a premium figure like this, I could see why there's a demand for it. Anyways, that's about it. If you got questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.